not gonna just take that. I don't really sit here and it's a great thing to go on the contract. You're not gonna get a document in this. You would think we're gonna have sit better and have problems. We may be going live any second. Okay. We might be live right now. Yeah. Because last week it's live right now. Because it last week I got ready. Look at me, I'm trying to get stuff. And here we are. It's a happy hour. Are we live? Yes, ma'am. And this one is chewing. Okay, we are live.
Are checking it? Are we live? We need to speak.
Yes, we are live.
We should be live.
Oh, okay, great.
Somebody's live.
So we are live, and we have lots of live things here. Welcome, everyone, to the second edition of Home for the Holidays. I'm Leigh Pettus, past president of Friends of Lawrence County Animals. I have with me Ginger Morgan, who is the director of the Doggie House, the Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter, which serves both Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. And I also have Beth Keaton, also with Friends of Lawrence County Animals. So welcome, everybody. Welcome the community. Welcome, puppies. We have, Oreo and not Lily Mae, that's Beth's dog. Lucy Mae?
Lucy Mae.
Lucy Mae.
And Lucy Mae is a wiggler, and I'm telling you what, I am not sure what I was thinking when I decided to bring little puppies. I mean, Russell was so good last week. I had high hopes.
Russell was just unbelievable. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. I hope we're moving the mic back and forth.
Well, Russell is a little bit older than these two as well.
Now, I thought maybe if they played a while, they would get sleepy. And I did give them a bath, so that makes them sleepy
and you
too.
Just smell marvelous.
Oreo's eyes are looking sleepy. However, Lucy Mae is not. But that's okay.
So before we begin, I want to thank our sponsors, Tiffany Coke with Cry Like Realtors, the Hearing Services of Middle Tennessee, Story and Leigh, and Dr. Jason Fort of Lawrenceburg Eye Care. We're so thankful to them. So if you see them on the street or go into their places of business, please thank them because they're the ones who have made this happen. So, Ginger, do you want to tell us a little bit about Lucy Mae and Oreo and Home for the Holidays?
Yes, Lucy Mae I think she was probably about 12 weeks old, but I'm looking, she actually has one set, which is in.
Now we're on radio.
Now we're on radio. So before, what were we?
Live on the internet. Now you're live on both.
Oh, we're live on both.
We are very organized.
That's the way it happens. So should I repeat this just a little bit? I'll do it very quickly. Yeah.
Just to make sure if there's anything missed, we don't need to go.
Yeah. I'm going to recap.
Yeah, it's real quick.
We're cool and hip at Home for the Holidays. So welcome, everyone, to the second edition of Home for the Holidays. I'm Leigh Pettus with Friends of Lawrence County Animals. I have with me Ginger Morgan, who is the shelter director for the Doggie House, the Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter, which serves both Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. And we also have Beth Keaton, who is with Friends of Lawrence County Animals as well. I want to say thank you to this segment to our sponsors, Tiffany Cope with Cry Like Realtors, Hearing Services of Middle Tennessee, Story and Leigh, and Dr. Jason Fort of Lawrenceburg Eye Care. So when you go into their places of business, if you could say a big thank you for all they do for the animals, Lawrence County animals, that would be great. So we kind of started with Home for the Holidays, Ginger, and of course our two little sweet peas, Oreo and Lucy Mae. So do you want to tell us a little bit again about Home for the Holidays?
Of course. So Home for the Holidays, what we are hoping is that as people will come in and foster a pet for the holidays. And so what that does is it kind of gives us a little relief at the shelter. We're overcrowded, as most shelters are in the area. And we have little Lucy Mae here who likes to chew. She is a puppy. But
so we have dogs of all types at the shelter.
We have young dogs. I think these are the youngest two that we have at the shelter right now. Yeah. And we have very spirited puppies, but they do calm down at some point. Maybe
Let's see if that happens within that.
with the that I have here. Yes, if I say ouch really loud, that means that the piranha teeth have gotten me. But you are really into this, aren't you? So anyway, so home for the holidays. So what that does for us, it gives us a little bit of relief because we are overcrowded. And then what it does for the dogs is it gives them time to get out and just kind of decompress and have some time, have some family time and have fun being out and about, and then it also gives the person, the foster, really, you got a lot. And I did. I would like to speak now. You got her turn. What is I have no idea what possessed me. I thought it would be just easier to grab a couple of puppies. Right, getting back to fostering, we do have dogs that are a little bit more well behaved and a little older than these. We have uh, I don't know, for some reason, that Oscar Mayer commercial, we have, short dogs, skinny dogs, dogs who climb on rocks. But, in all kinds. And it really is helpful to get them out. And so, what, too, is you can find out a little bit more about their personality than what we can at the shelter. Last week, I kept referring to Freckles and how crazy she was. However, I may have misjudged somebody in my laugh. But Freckles went home today, and her adopted mom is like, oh wow, she's playing well with the kids. She actually wore her out, and I'm going to turn her this way because there's not a mic for her to look at on that side. So that might be, yeah, I think that's what she's going for. So anyway, so then you can tell us what they like to do. Do they play ball? Do they actually fetch, or do they just run after it? Or do they like to snuggle? I mean, we just found out that Ryan Evers just adopted a dog from us. So that dog is permanently home for the holidays. And we found out he's a big couch potato. So, but he likes to watch football. So I don't know who he likes or who he's rooting for, but he likes football. And those are just good things to know. And you can keep them for a few days, a few weeks, or a month. I think if we go through January.
Maybe we need to put Lucy May on the floor and let her run for a little bit. You think? Let her run around for a second.
Say, oh, Charlotte, we need a dog sitter.
I can. And you can trade with Oreo. Lucy May.
This dog.
There we go. Hey, little baby.
Okay, so let's start. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we're gonna zoom in and tell us a little bit about this or that.
Okay, so Lucy May was found kind of just wandering the streets a little bit, and what I'm thinking she's probably 10, maybe 12 weeks old. I did notice when I was looking at the nails to see if I needed to trap them before we came that she has one set of double dew claws. So she might get bigger than I thought she was going to, because there might be other dogs, but the only ones that I know of with double dew claws are Great Pyrenees.
Wow. Okay.
So can you see?
Oh, yes, they're true.
Yeah.
Well, they're special.
She said, I think it's too close to home.
Lucy May is a special dog.
She is special. But, she does get tired after a while of playing. But apparently she didn't play long enough.
She didn't play today. Well, bless Lucy May's heart. Yes, my friends. So we also have Oreo.
We do have Oreo.
Okay. We're going to trade and we're going to get Oreo.
Lucy May just wanted to get on the floor and run around a little bit.
Yeah. Just watch those piranha teeth.
And look at this.
Okay, now then, here is Oreo. Yes. And they were not like this at the shelter. And you would think that they would have been like this at the shelter.
They were like normal children. They're acting up in the restaurant. Yeah.
But the thing is I love puppies, even their piranha teeth and their bad behavior. But so I'm sorry. No wonder he wants to chew on me. Um, I'm thinking he is probably maybe 8 weeks old, and he is ready to put in somebody's stocking for Christmas as long as everybody knows what they're getting themselves into. Judge him by by his television or radio debut.
I know. What kind, I mean, I know it's a guess, but what kind do we think that little Oreo is?
I think what I would describe Oreo as a combination of cute and adorable.
That's exactly right. And and Oreo is a great Lawrence County dog, kind of a mixture of everything. They make the best.
I could be wrong, but I'm guessing he will top out at maybe 40, 45 pounds at the most. So when you adopt a dog or foster one, especially when you adopt a dog from the shelter, we have them spayed or neutered, and they're also microchipped, and they're up to date on shots, so they're pretty much ready to go. We do have them spayed or neutered after they're adopted, and then the only thing the adopter has to pay for is the adoption fee, which is $75, or and the rabies, because the rabies needs to be registered in their name, not ours. So
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And also, um, that kind of leads me into Giving Tuesday. Beth, do you want to explain our recent campaign with Friends of Lawrence County Animals? We're actually raising money for Home for the Holidays.
And tomorrow is Giving Tuesday.
Yes, it is.
So the campaign is on our Facebook page, Friends of Lawrence County Animals. And any amount, a dollar, any amount, all the way up to whatever your heart can give, is wonderful. And the money does support Home for the Holidays, which helps to get our dogs ready to go home, such as the spay neuter, all the shots, tipping the dog. And I believe, Ginger, you said if you foster, you get a bag of dog food
yes,
with the foster pup.
correct.
So the Giving Tuesday is all about giving as much as you can to help our local shelter dogs. Every penny goes to our local dogs.
Right. So we have, how does it go? It goes Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday.
Yes, and Giving
Yes.
Tuesday is for all the
Tuesday.
nonprofits.
I think Giving Tuesday should be before you spend all your money on Black Friday.
Well,
Small business.
that's true. We need to try to get that changed, don't we? Because it is, there are a lot of nonprofits that are going to be asking for money tomorrow for Giving Tuesday, and there are a lot of really wonderful organizations. But
Absolutely.
we hope that people will give to Friends of Lawrence County Animals and support our local animals,
Now,
our local
look at,
shelter.
I don't know if you can see it, but Lucy May over there has now zonked out,
Well,
and sort of.
the dog whisperer. You think she's the dog
Yes,
whisperer?
she is. Look at her. She has
Uh-huh.
zonked out. So so cute. So she just kind of had an energy spurt, and so now she's resting. So that's wonderful. Um, Speaking of Giving Tuesday, I saw an article in the Washington Post. Did you guys read it? It was so cute, and I wanted to share it with you. It was about a couple that volunteers at the shelter. They go either every weekend or every other weekend. And it was her 40th birthday. And her husband wanted to do something really special for her. He knew how much she loved animals and loved working with the shelter. So he basically funded one dog for each year that his wife was born. So it was her 40th birthday. And they ended up paying for 40 the adoption fees for 40 shelter animals. She said that it was the most meaningful gift that she had ever had, and knowing that it was going to get those doggies into their forever homes meant so much. So just wanted to share that. I thought it was great.
Oh, that is a wonderful story. And it's like we all have so much. If we want something, we usually go buy it ourselves. We don't even know what we want for Christmas. And wouldn't that make a great Christmas gift to be able to help dogs like that? Because our dogs can't help themselves.
Right.
Hint, hint for people out there listening.
Hint, hint. Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Now, our link is on our Facebook page,
Yes.
Friends of Lawrence County Animals,
Yes.
and it's right there. And we'll go ahead and make another post as well for people who want to donate. And maybe, again, the adoption fee is $75, but we will love anything that you're able to give for sure.
Yes.
Wanted to recap last week. Wasn't it great having Laura and Robin in? For those of you who were not here, we did a book signing at Paisley Paws and Prints, and then came over here for our first session of Home for the Holidays. And the book was called, we had the author, Doggie Do's and Don'ts. We're pleased to announce that in addition to the book signing, it's great for elementary school children. The Friends of Lawrence County Animals is going to donate a Doggie Do's and Don'ts book for every elementary school, library, and also public library as well.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a precious book, and it really has some common sense do's and don'ts.
Does it say don't take two puppies on the radio show? Because I missed that part of it.
No, you missed that one. It is a great book, and we're also hoping to use that in our instruction. We talked about that last week. We have always short-term and long-term plans, and one of our long-term plans is to actually go into each of the schools and use some Doggie Do's and Don'ts as one of our, I guess, how we're going to create the program that we
Mhm.
go in. It is such a good book. It is told through the eyes of one of their dogs, Cadence.
Cadence the dog.
Yes, Cadence the dog. So I invite you. It will soon be in each library soon. So over the next couple of weeks. So I invite you to check one out.
It is available on Amazon,
It is.
if someone wants to purchase.
That'd be a great stocking stuffer.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. That would be a really great stocking stuffer for people who have elementary age children.
And the nice thing about it is written by Robin Lepre, and she is out of Middle Tennessee. She works with an organization called Casa Paws, and we also work with Casa. So Casa works very closely with Lawrence County regarding our spay and neuter, and also regarding transporting some of our doggies to their forever homes. So anything that we can do to support them, Lawrence County, I encourage you to do so, and it's a wonderful book as well. Um, especially you mentioned the holidays. So, Ginger, because of the holidays, I know there's a lot of food around, a lot of food on the table. Can you kind of instruct us? We kind of know some, like I heard grapes were not the best thing to feed a dog, and of course chocolate, other things, and you can.
Dessert, anything with a lot of sugar in it, it is not good for them. Some type of nuts are fine, some type of nuts are not. I was chasing puppies all day, so I didn't bring my list with me. But you don't want to give them a lot of people scraps for sure, because especially if they're not used to it, because the grease in there, the spices that could be in there, it's not good. Be careful for anything that may have, and I hope I'm saying this right, xylitol in it, because that can be deadly for your dogs. So, and puppy likes the cardboard.
It really upsets their little tummies when they're not
Right.
used to the people food. And the food that we eat during the holidays is so rich.
Right.
And like you say, has lots of spices, lots of sugar,
Mhm.
and they want it.
Yes.
My Otis is a counter grazer.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, he's up
He's
there
got those
looking.
long
He's up there
he has those
looking.
long legs.
He's looking to see what is up there,
Mm.
but I don't let him have anything. I don't let him and Lily Mae have anything.
Well, it can lead sometimes to pancreatitis.
Exactly, yeah. I
Yeah.
want to say that one of the vets, either I read it or a vet friend told me that one of the busiest times is like the day after Thanksgiving for all the emergencies that come through, and the day after Christmas, I think. But I think it's Thanksgiving the most
Yeah.
because people will feed their dogs a lot of turkey, and apparently, like the white meats, either the white meat or the dark meat, one can be fed, but the other one cannot for whatever reason. I was reading right before Thanksgiving about that, and now I've blanked out on it, so I just didn't give my dogs any.
It's really better to just have really dog treats
Exactly.
and give the dog a dog treat instead of our food.
Mhm.
And when it's kind of funny. I used to always joke that when the oven timer went off, my dogs got excited about it because they knew that it was for them. But when the microwave went off, they didn't care because they knew that was where I was cooking my food. That is just sad, so sad. But anyway, very true. But there are some really great recipes online for great treats for the dogs. At Halloween, I made cups for all the dogs at the shelter, and I used the Brutus bone broth and some pumpkin. And then I got Cool Whip and put it on top of there and a little cinnamon. And let me tell you, those dogs absolutely loved it. And Leanne was so nice to supply the mini solo cups, red solo cups for me. I'm not sure why she had those. But like
That's another show. Stay
They
tuned.
were not fun. I don't know how, they got in there, but, anyway, I'm so glad that the
had anything
puppy
to do with her whole remedy or not, but
and pumpkin
something, yeah.
is just a wonderful food for doggies in their stomachs. I just find it amazing. If my pup has an upset stomach for any reason, one way or another, a
Exactly.
little bit of pumpkin just usually turns that right around. It's just amazing.
Yes, it does. But you have to make sure you have real pumpkin and not pumpkin pie filling. It has to be pumpkin all on its own.
Yes.
Since maybe, if you don't mind me interrupting in this, but just a few things about puppies and really one of the reasons why I brought the puppies here is um, when puppies are young like this, they should be exposed to 100 different people by the time they're 12 to 14 weeks old, so that nothing kind of upsets their apple cart. Uh, I always try to get them around people with beards, people who wear hats, people who wear sunglasses, people
That's
who are
great.
bald, people who, people that are different than I am, and in whatever way. Uh, so it gets them used to it, and it doesn't scare them, or they're not apprehensive about it. Is somebody approaching them later on? And one of the other things, and now he's moving around anyway, so it's not going to matter. But when they're young like this, the other thing you can do, and I'm just like taking over your
Hey,
show,
Lucy, my show. Oh, yes, go ahead. Come here, Lucy.
but I don't know if you can see, but I've been playing with his paws a little bit
Yes.
while we've been sitting here, and that makes it easier later to trim their nails, for the vet to trim their nails. Like I was doing this earlier today, and I actually got a Dremel tool out and did all his nails before I came up here because they were like little needles. You think his teeth were sharp,
And he
but those
loves it.
nails.
Oh, he's just loving you massaging his little paws.
And playing
And
with
look,
their hair.
you have my little bracelet. Oh, he's so sweet. Come here.
And then, playing with their ears and not pulling their ears, but just tugging a little bit so that they're used to that as well. Because you never know, a little kid's going to come up to a dog and pull its ears or tail or something. And the same thing, just take their little tail and just give it a little tug, not to where it hurts, but just give it a little tug on there so that they get the idea. But it's not a big deal if somebody does that. I know years ago I was at the park I had a German Shepherd Rottweiler mix, had this beautiful fuzzy tail, and a friend was with me, and I kept going behind him and just pulling his tail a little bit. She says, "Leave his tail alone. Why are you doing that?" And I said, "Because I bet you $100 in 5 minutes, some kid's going to run up here unaccompanied by a parent and grab his tail. And she said, no. And literally in 5 minutes, somebody came up and she was shocked. And he didn't even pay any attention. He didn't even look back. He didn't even acknowledge the fact that somebody was pulling his tail because he was used to me doing that all the time. So it wasn't anything, new to him. Where, one of my other dogs, it wasn't what I haven't done so well with, might not appreciate that. So just play with them. I know people are going to wind up getting puppies for Christmas, but to make sure that your puppy is going to you're going to be able to touch them, play with them, their ears, like I said, their feet, especially, it makes it so much easier to trim their nails and just separate their little toes. Like Oreo doesn't care at all.
I can
He
tell.
likes
Oreo's
it, yeah.
kind of loving it.
He likes it.
And
Absolutely.
Lucy May's kind of, watching and
Well, we should.
I know, Sweet Pea. She wants
want
her
me to
little
get your
she wants her little paws rubbed
You want
as
your
well.
toes massaged?
Yeah, she
as
wants your
well?
toes massaged.
Oh,
buddy.
you dropped your
Yes.
baby.
Okay.
The baby's bigger than he is.
Now I'm just trying to get the pop filter.
Okay, their little mark, Charlotte. Sorry about that.
Oh,
Oh, I know, buddy. I know.
Oh goodness! You want me to
Go count.
Wait, the puppies. I love puppies. I'm a sucker for a puppy,
I know.
even though they are a pain. Oh, no, she's gonna get your earring. You might wanna pass that little fat belly off.
oh, where's your other little toy?
Okay, I'm vowing right now we are not bringing puppies again. Okay. No, but they are adorable. They are adorable, especially if you massage their feet just for a little bitty puppies. She's going to count to another one.
See, I was the other earring. So
But it does take a lot of patience when you get a puppy. I've had puppies, and
Yeah.
you've got to teach them how to act and to go outside. And
That's exactly why I brought them, so people would learn patience. See, I think I prayed for patience, and God just keeps giving me puppies.
yes, you have to be careful what you pray for.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
ma'am. I'm not praying for that again. No more praying for patience. That is for sure.
Well, in addition to our puppies, we have Pet of the Week. And last week, the Pet of the Week was Cash. And we thought Cash was getting adopted. Didn't work out. They came to the shelter and fell in love with another dog.
Yes,
There was
they
nothing
did.
wrong with Cash. They just fell in love with another dog. So tell us a little bit about Cash.
So
Cash, the pet of the week.
Last week.
Last week.
yes, he was pet of the week last
That's
week.
right. Okay.
So,
yeah.
Cash is a healer mix. I think he's about 3 years old, and I'll tell you what. I love Cash. I love him. We have this kind of, I don't know. It's not a love-hate relationship because I don't hate him, but he just he just sees me and his whole face brightens up and he loves to go for car rides. And I think because I've taken him to a couple of adoption events, I am his person now because I take him for rides. As a matter of fact, on one of the adoption events, he got out the front door at the shelter and I already had the back of my RAV open. And he just went and got in. I mean, he just jumped in and he knew we were headed out. So
He's a
but
wonderful doggy.
he is really wonderful. He's full grown. He probably weighs, because he's a little puppy.
Chunky.
He's
Yeah.
chunky. He's muscular.
Muscular.
He has a muscular build.
Yes.
So he probably weighs about 50 pounds, I
Probably.
think.
Yeah.
But I think he would be wonderful for somebody to play with and just to love on.
Any idea how old he is?
I think he's about 3,
Okay.
but don't quote me.
He doesn't look like an old dog.
No, he doesn't. But he's not. He's not like the puppies.
No.
Not like. Oh, sorry.
Well,
Yeah, I agree.
you brought him to Tractor Supply a couple of weeks ago for an adoption event, and he was very well mannered.
Yeah, he was.
Not aggressive at all with the other dogs, with the people. He'd make someone a great dog. Of course, it would be good too if he had property to run on. I'm sure
Yeah,
would
he
love
would. Yes.
love that as well.
Yeah.
But we also this week now, our pet of the week is Sugar. And you know, my
Imagine
sugar,
that.
my sugar,
Sugar,
my sugar.
sugar is
Sugar
very
is, you know, unfortunately, Sugar does not photograph well. So she's the one where, you know, when maybe somebody's hooking you up for a blind date or something, they say, "Oh, she's got a great personality." Now she is really adorable, but she just does not photograph well. And you know, we're debating about what she's mixed with. We think she may have maybe some pit bull in her, but to me, when you look at her profile, she looks just like a
she
Boston
looks
Terrier.
more boxer.
I think she may have some boxer.
And she has
Yeah.
she's little. I mean, she's
Yeah,
not a big
She is
dog.
little.
Mhm.
She's
She's
full
small.
grown, and what she probably weighs
30
30
pounds,
pounds at the
maybe.
most.
Mhm.
She rides so well in a car. You
She
know,
does.
you've had her in a car, I've had her in a car. She just rides so well, so
She
well
loves a good
behaved.
belly rub.
She loves a good belly rub, but like you say, she doesn't take the most beautiful pictures. She's always so serious looking in her pictures
Yeah.
with those ears standing up. But I think it's because she's looking for her person.
That's what she's doing.
That's probably
She's
exactly what
looking
it
for her
is.
person.
And-
And so
Wanting to see who's going to give her the next belly rub.
well, that's true. That's true.
And
But
she does love them at the adoption event. She turned over on her back
Yeah.
and just, she
yes,
just loves them.
yes.
It's just great. Now, if anybody wants to adopt Cash or Sugar or the puppies, and we have a lot of them out
We
there,
have, yes.
do they need to do?
They can come out to the shelter. It would be great if they went to Pet Finder and looked on Pet Finder, put in the Lawrenceburg zip code, and then you can see. I would say probably a good 85% of our dogs are on there. Some of them are not quite ready for adoption yet or not, but pick out a dog. If you can make an appointment, so you're not so excited and have to come right that minute, then if you pick out a couple of dogs, we'll give them a bath because they can get pretty dirty and really stinky out at the shelter. So we like for them to present well, and a stinky dog is just does not.
And then they can take them out to the dog park too and kind of play with them as
Yeah,
well.
and see how they do. If they have other dogs, it would be great if they once they decided who they wanted, if
Oh,
they
look,
could take their dog out to the out if they could take their dog out to the shelter, not to the shelter, to the dog park with the dog that they chose and see how well they get along, because you don't want to get one home and find out that it's not going to work out with your other dog. So I like for them to meet.
Yes. However, if that does happen, you tell people, bring them back.
Exactly.
You know, if it just doesn't work.
Yes.
and that's what's so good about Home for the Holidays too, because it is you can bring one home and foster it over the holidays. You can share the little guy or girl with family members, with your greater network. There's so many good things about the program. Now she's really going, oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Who's got you going here, girl?
it's Charlotte. I think it's Charlotte. So, one of the things, speaking of the holidays again, we have the Christmas parade coming up, and that's always so exciting. Friends of Lawrence County Animals is going to be a part of that. We're not going to have a float this year, but we are decorating an old Jeep Wagoneer, so it's going to look like a float, but it's not going to be a float.
We started talking about decorating that float in April, I think it was.
We did, didn't we? But we've been busy this year.
Yeah, we've been very busy. Thank you all for keeping me busy.
No, well, I'm telling you, it is such a worthwhile cause. And again, anybody who wants to volunteer, we would love to have you either through Friends of Lawrence County Animals, directly to the Doggie House, the Lawrenceburg Animal Shelter.
Yeah.
We would love to include you, invite you, tell you, what it is we do. Um, and we have fun. It's very meaningful work. It's work, but it's very meaningful work, and it's such a pleasure. And the payoff is absolutely unbelievable.
And going back to these puppies need to meet 100 different people. I mean, you can come out and play with the puppies and get worn out yourself.
Right.
The piece may last longer than you do, but and have that's another one or two people that they get to meet that I'm not out pushing them
Right.
in the public, that they can come to us, that you can come to us and play with them. And
Tell us where you are, Ginger. What is the address?
815 Gaither Avenue or
Yeah.
Drive? It's Avenue. I always get confused on that. So
And the phone number?
my number is 931-244-0265.
Okay, say it again.
931-244-0265. Are you just gonna see if I could say it right both times?
I just wanted all of those people out there who was running to get a pencil
right.
or a pen. I wanted you to say it again.
All right.
Can you?
Buying signs to support.
Oh yes, our Home for the Holidays. Our Home for the Holidays signs. Can everyone see that? A proud supporter of Home for the Holidays. We have these for sale. They are $100. We will put them at your business as a supporter, and that $100 is to get our dog ready to go home with you. If you're adopting, we go ahead and spay or neuter the dog. We heartworm test the dog. We give them their shots, everything but rabies. So that $100 pays for that to get the dog ready to go home. And if you're fostering a dog and we don't spay and neuter that dog, your money will go to spay another dog.
Exactly.
Because that's what the money really is for, is all the spay and neuter cost.
We're hoping that the people who are fostering the dogs fall in love with them and keep them. And so then we spay and neuter them.
Then we spay and neuter them. Yes. I don't know how you could take this little one home and not fall in love with it.
Well,
Or this one. Or that one. Either one. Right.
the fact that he's using my finger as a pacifier, but
I know it hurts. So if you want to sign and help us with this great cause, just go to our Facebook page and message us, right, Leanne?
absolutely. Or
Yes.
they can call me at 931-244-0265.
And I can go ahead and tell you, as of today, our sponsors are Greens Home Center and Align Medical Center and WLX Radio, of course. And we thank you for that, all the WLX staff. So just give us, messages and help us take care of our animals.
Absolutely. So, one other thing that I wanted to mention, because we have been, I guess, for people who like moderate weather, been so fortunate in that, until last night, I still had ferns and, it looked like summer. And then all of a sudden, the temperatures really took a dive. So, Ginger, do you want to talk about, now that it's colder weather? Of course, we hope that, there's so many animals that, dogs and pets that are inside, outside. Some are completely outside.
Correct.
Can you kind of speak to that and to make sure, that they have what they need in order to thrive?
Yes. If your dog is gonna be outside, you need to make sure that it has bedding that's gonna be dry and warm for them. Also, they need the shelter needs to have a roof on it and three sides. And the opening on the four side needs to be relatively small enough for the dog to get through, but not for a lot of air to get in there. So, yeah, and watch them their water if they're just gonna be outside primarily, you need to make sure that their water doesn't freeze, their food doesn't freeze on them, um, and check on them. Don't if you can, when it gets really cold, bring them inside at night. I know some dogs do not wanna come inside at all. As a matter of fact, I have a Great Pyrenees. I have a Great Pyrenees and a Great Pyrenees mix, and as soon as it got cold, they're like, "No, no, I'm not coming in. You're on your own. No more foot warmers. Not going to be a foot
Oh,
warmer."
will they like the snow flurries that we're getting tonight, supposedly?
Are we getting it tonight?
possibly by 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that.
It looked like the skies looked snowy when I came in. So,
It's
oh,
really
yeah, they
supposed
will.
to be cold this week, below freezing. Several mornings.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Several mornings. Yeah.
Did you mention plenty of water too?
Yeah, plenty of water, and to make sure that it's not frozen.
My
Yeah.
dog water froze last night.
Or did it? Yeah.
Amazing. Mhm.
I know. Well, I had something like a Coke that I left in my car, and it was frozen.
And it
this
was frozen.
morning. Yeah.
Mm. It was
Oh, yeah. That's
pretty
not.
cold.
Oh, yeah. You better pick the little one up because he does not. He does not appreciate the size difference.
Well, we like
And
to
the two of
say
them.
if you don't, if it's too cold for you to sleep outside, it might be too cold for your dog.
Correct. Yes. If you, unless you're an avid camper or a hunter that really likes to be out in the cold, yes, don't leave your dogs out there. Like I said, some dogs they prefer to be outside, but try to bring them in and keep them warm, or make sure they have some type of warm bedding. Right. One of the things I wanted to talk about is a lot of the dogs that we wind up with at the shelter are dogs that have no identification on them. So they'll have a collar but no ID. So it's important that your dog has a collar on it because then people know that it's most likely owned and not just a stray. But if you don't have any identification on that collar, we're not going to be able to track, the dog down to who it belongs to. Even, sometimes you can just write, if you have a cloth collar, just take a big Sharpie and just write your phone number on it. I know a lot of people do not like to have like the rabies tags and an ID tag and all that jingling around on the dog's collar. So just write it on there. Also, have your rabies tag. I'm pretty sure it's a law that you should have your rabies tag on your dog's collar, and we can track your dog back down to you through the rabies tag. It just takes a little bit longer than if you had a tag on your dog all on its own. And make sure that when you get your rabies tag, that that does come back to you. I would just check. I know we had some when I first got here that the tag was registered. The phone number was not a. It was a working number, but they had nothing to do with the dog. So, um,
Yeah,
that's
it's amazing how many times the information when you do track a dog is not current for some reason on the rabies tag. That happens quite often. So yes, and that certainly would help the owner make sure that the dog is returned in a timely manner, and it sure would help you guys as well.
yes, it would. We have a sticker with us. It's obviously getting into the paper.
Well, and Ginger, you have dogs that are brought in that if it had a collar on, at least the policeman that brings it in would kind of know it must belong to somebody,
right.
in that neighborhood,
Right.
and it might not even be picked up if it had a collar.
Correct.
But you get a lot of dogs brought in and there's no identification at all, and the only thing you can return to is Facebook.
Right. And, I've been relatively lucky on my Facebook posts because I try to post when a dog comes in, I try to take its picture and I post it on Facebook. I leave it on Facebook. Well, I leave it up there permanently, but we don't try to find it another home until, and legally, I think we have to hold it for 72 hours before we can put it up for adoption. I try to hold them a little bit longer than that. Sometimes people see the picture on Facebook and they're like, if that dog doesn't, the owners don't show up, I want that dog. And the reason that happened recently, I know that dog had an owner, but I waited like 2 weeks before we went ahead and let the lady adopt the dog. That post was shared like over 50 times on Facebook. So I feel that we pretty much saturated anybody who could have even thought about looking for that dog.
You tried, and it could have been a situation where the owner passed away or something, and the dog got out. I mean, that happens too.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately.
But we do want to encourage people to check with the shelter. If you lose your dog, check with the shelter.
Absolutely.
And what was that number again?
931 244-0265.
You're getting good at that, Ginger.
0265.
0265. You're getting good at that, Ginger. Yes. But you are so correct. A collar, an ID tag, or a number written on the collar, a rabies tag, just something. And you can get those tags made here in town. That you can put your name, the dog's name, or just a phone number, and they're not that expensive.
No. And it's not expensive. If you think what it's costing you, maybe it's not that much, but let's say $20. But if your dog is out, then your dog can be returned to you almost immediately because somebody is going to see it and pick it up and either
Right.
call the police because it's running at large or they're going to bring it to us. But if it has that ID on there, they'll just call you.
It's the chip work. I know you said our dogs, they're all chipped
They're
when
all
they
chipped.
leave, or they're all chipped. If I find a dog, how do I check the chip? What do I do?
You can bring it you should be able to take it to any vet clinic because I think they should all have the chip readers, and we have a chip reader.
Okay.
I know at one point back in the summer, we were talking about maybe seeing if the fire department could get one. Remember that meeting that we had?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And so you wouldn't even have to bring it all the way out to the shelter, which is located at 815 Gaither Avenue.
There you go.
So you two have, speaking, we mentioned earlier about everybody being very busy. You two went out to the extension office, didn't you?
Did.
Oh, we did. The nice people at the extension office.
Yes, they have an angel tree for the shelter, and I gave them a kind of a wish list of things that we needed. And puppies are
The toy now has a hole in it.
yes.
Mom's missing its one.
Cow is missing its heart.
It's missing its arm.
Well,
It's like every toddler's room in there.
that is how my house looks with all the toys that are around. So back to the extension office. Yes. So they have an angel tree and you can go pick a little angel off of that or ornament. I can't remember exactly what was on there. And then has a list of has our wish list on it. So that is a great place. If you want to buy something for the shelter, you can drop it off at the extension office and then we'll pick it up after Christmas. And we have the sweetest puppy with us today. But so on our wish list, we have, things like paper towels, toilet paper, dish soap. We wash hundreds of dog bowls per day. If you think we have approximately 90 to 100 dogs and we wash those bowls, they get washed pretty much every day. Some dogs are cleaner than others, so maybe it's an every other day, but they have water bowls and food bowls. So we do a lot of dishes, we do a lot of laundry, especially this time of the year. We have any of the dogs are going to be outside. We always have blankets and things for them, and even like the puppies that are inside, we always have blankets, for them. So we're doing laundry all the time and washing dishes. And anybody who would like to volunteer to help us do laundry or wash dishes can call. What's that number, Beth?
Well, I think I even know. 931-244-0265. 0265. Okay.
So sing it the next
265. I have it on speaker.
any particular brand or type of dish soap or laundry detergent for the dogs.
On the laundry detergent, it really doesn't matter on that. I try to get stuff that doesn't have bleach in it because some of the dogs, we were bleaching some stuff, which, we need to sanitize things. But some of the dogs, it bothered their paws. So we stopped doing that and made sure that we didn't give that dog particularly anything. But we like Dawn dish detergent because it works really well on on
Everything.
on everything. Yes, I use it. I actually use it to clean the kennels out too, because it kind of gets in there. If it's a degreaser, it could be, well, a depooper too. So
And do you know what else it does too? My dog, I knew it was coming, was sprayed with a skunk. And of course, we are running around trying to figure out what to do. And Dawn, dishwasher, detergent.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And it did a great job. So just
It's good to know.
And that makes it, and we don't have a dishwasher, so we need the regular Dawn. So, the other thing that we would really appreciate are treats. We don't get a lot of treats donated, and having basically 100 dogs, we like to give them treats at least once a day, and we run out of them pretty quickly. And they can be the smaller treats. I know I get like the almost the puppy milk bones because the dog doesn't know. It just knows it's getting a treat. If it's a big treat or a little treat, it's getting one thing. So the dogs are really get excited about that. I know Beverly goes through in the mornings sometimes, and when we check on all the dogs, and she goes through and a lot of times gives them all treats. And so I know when I turn the lights on and they all go crazy, they're looking for somebody to start giving them treats. Some other things that we need fleece blankets, and they can be new or used. We could use, gosh, I have Corunda beds on our wish list,
yes.
and they are a little pricey. They're give or take about $90 to $100 a piece. But if you wanted to go in with somebody else, go in with a couple of friends and get one. If you don't know what a Corunda bed is, it's a raised bed, and Corunda, they guarantee that it's chew proof, basically. So for the first year, if the dogs chew it and damage it, they will send you a new part.
Oh, that's
So yeah,
Right.
I don't think they understood that when they first they got the Corunda beds at the shelter, because we have bits and pieces of them everywhere, and the shelter dogs are going to chew them. But at least we know for the first year we can get new parts. So, but anyway, it raises them up, it keeps them elevated so that they're not just on a concrete floor, because even inside the building, the floors are concrete.
Yeah.
So that helps for some of the older dogs that might have, little arthritis going there. It gets them up in the morning.
So before we go, and Charlotte tells us we need to go, there are a couple of things that we need to. Can you believe this? It's already been an hour. I
Well,
mean,
we've been entertained.
we were just flipping through everything, but couple of things. Dog walkers. We
Oh,
really
yes, we definitely dog walkers. And even if you can volunteer, just one day a week, or one day a month, get a couple of your friends to come out. And if, let's say, there are two couples, and you get, two of them come out here together, and you're there for an hour. Well, in that hour, each one of you can walk probably four dogs. So that gives us 16 dogs that have been walked that day that would not have.
and companies do that too as an
Correct.
outing and team building
Yes.
exercise,
Yes.
right? So that's always a good idea.
Now, our walking track is what, a quarter mile?
It's a quarter mile.
And it's just through the woods there in front of the shelter. It's very pretty. It's very relaxing. And by doing that, again, people are helping our dogs become more adoptable because it socializes them,
Yes. Yeah.
So very important that we get volunteers for dog walkers. And I know the weather right now is frightening. I'm not
It
going to start
changes. It will
singing, I
get warm
promise.
again.
But
I'll look at this.
we will have days that you could still walk.
Oreo, just such a sweetheart. And then one last thing before we actually wrap up is we mentioned the number. Right now we have how many at the shelter?
Close to 100. I want to say 98.
98 dogs, which is just unbelievable and incredible.
She's had several adoptions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There-
Yes.
we have dogs.
Yes.
Yeah, we have dogs. And the thing is when you take a dog out of the shelter, you're making room for somebody else to come in.
Mhm.
And we have gotten, we're full. We're not really taking any dogs in from the public, but we have gotten a couple of truly emaciated dogs in, and we're making a difference in their life. But it's only because people are fostering or adopting. If we can't move them, then we can't help anybody else that's coming. Any of the other dogs that are out there that need our help.
So I want to say one more thing about our SNPs program. Spay neuter is a positive solution because we have so many dogs at the shelter, and you know we want to decrease the number of unwanted animals throughout Lawrence County.
Yes.
So SNPs is a great program. It is funded by the Lawrence County Commission. We are in our third year. And right now, today, we're probably over 1,000 animals that have been spayed or neutered in Lawrence County, which is
And
just
cats.
incredible.
Mhm.
Dogs and cats, absolutely. So we do have a local partner that we schedule, or that you kind of go through screening, and then they're given a certificate, and you can call our local vet partner, which is wonderful. We also have clinics. You usually find out about those at Facebook. We also last year did Spirit of Santa and taped them, but this year I think the word has gotten out, so it's primarily going to be on Facebook when we announce our clinics. We've had 2 in the fall, and we're going to start again in the spring, very early spring.
I hope it's okay, Charlotte. I'd like to thank Dr. Dan Jennings, if
Absolutely.
I could, at Lawrenceburg Animal Hospital. He has been our local partner for the last 3 years, and he's been so good to work with.
He absolutely
And
has. So
now Dan was trying to slow down, and we showed up.
yes, and we certainly did.
And so no slowing down for Dan.
No,
Right,
no,
right.
absolutely. So I'm so glad you mentioned that. And have we? Do we have a few more minutes or?
You've got a couple.
Oh, okay, great, great.
Okay,
So let me give you the number for SNPs. Spay neuter is a positive solution. I know this one. 931-852-4907.
qualify for SNPs.
Really, it depends upon your level of income. So, your level of income. So, we have volunteers who actually screen and ask a few questions, and it is based on, your level of income
Your
and
situation,
your
the number in the
situation.
household,
Absolutely.
your health.
Yes.
I think there's several
There's several
questions.
things.
I've never screened, but I think there's several questions,
Yes.
and they can tell you on the phone during that conversation what your copay will be,
Yes.
and it's much less than. I mean, it's a good assistance program. It's a
Yes.
great assistance
Yes.
program.
Call this number.
Call this number. Absolutely. Call this number.
Leave a message, and the
Yes.
screener will return your call.
Now, for our clinics, when we have those, we ask that people just email their contact information, and one of our volunteers will contact them and go through the same process as well. It's a little different, but I would suggest everybody right now, because we're not going to have another clinic until early spring, to go ahead and call the number, which is 931-852-4907.
Because y'all usually fill up.
Oh,
We do.
absolutely. Yes, we
We
do.
do.
We fill up. Our clinics usually, we are allowed, and I want to thank our partners, People for Animals, and also CASA out of Columbia. Without them, and Dr. Dan Jennings, without our partners in the SNPs program, none of and of course, the Lawrence County Commission too. So
Absolutely.
it takes everybody, a lot of hands, a lot of involvement, and it is a fantastic program. We encourage everyone to take advantage of that if you need financial assistance.
It's the best way to limit the number of animals in our shelter, to promote spay and neuter.
And it's the best way to keep the animals off the street.
And
Absolutely.
it's healthier for the animals as well.
And healthier for
We
the
had that
animals.
conversation the other day. So, yes.
Yes.
So
Well, this dog still has plenty of energy.
And you're taking her.
Yeah.
look at Lucy, I'm sorry.
Text the sheriff and tell
How
him
cute.
that Riley was bringing him home for Christmas. And he said negative, negative.
Lucy May, you've been just a wonderful guest. She has been wonderful. I mean, she is full of energy, but she's
Well,
great.
they're just babies.
They are.
So
They're babies.
they're like my 2-year-olds. So
I was thinking of letting them spend the night with me, but
you've changed your
think-
mind.
I may have changed my mind. 'Cause
Oreo would be fine.
Yes, Oreo is great.
Well, I think she's a dog whisperer.
She's look at that. Look,
Yeah.
I think Oreo would be fine. That one right there.
Look at the
Look at her. Oh, she's so
needs a
she's
yard.
puppy. She's
She-
100%
I
puppy.
put her
She's
in
like-
I have a huge backyard, and I had both of them in there prior to coming here, and she was getting it in that yard, and it's huge.
She looks like a shepherd mix. Like she's got some type of shepherd in her. Or
Yeah, she does.
And her little tail curls.
It's a
Yeah.
chow tail, isn't it?
It kind of is, and that's why I was really shocked to find that
Yes.
one
Mm-hmm.
double dew claw. It's
Yeah.
like the other one, I didn't see that. So, and I'm sure somebody will let me know if there are other dogs that have the double
Yeah.
claws.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
All right. I'm gonna pull you off the radio, but
Okay.
if you want to say goodbye,
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Again, we'll be here next Monday. Beth, I don't know if you and I will be here next Monday, but we will come up with, we have a special guest. So
Oh,
look
right.
at Ginger.
You know, but I will tell you who's not going to be here next Monday. These two puppies, because I've seen them and will come to watch them.
Hey, Lucy
Somebody
May.
who is looking for a puppy with a lot of energy. They have a big yard. They've got an older dog that needs some life brought back in it. I just love puppies, but she sure is energetic.
And they're both beautiful dogs. They're going to be
Yes.
beautiful dogs.
Yeah.
And they will be well behaved
Yes.
someday.
That's not even. She's cute. He's cute.
Yeah, he is. He's really cute. It looks like he's done. Yeah.
Thanks for helping us, Riley.
Yes, Riley, thank you so much for helping it. Lucy May.
Look, next
And
Until she grabs that earring